today we'll be talking about radians.
Degrees to radians.
Radians to degrees.
Classifying angles.
But wait, let's take this one step at a time.
So, what exactly is a radian?
A radian is a unit of angle equal to an angle at the center of a circle whose arc is equal to the length of the radius.
So, let's break that down. The angle made when the radius is wrapped around the circle.
Here we have a circle. Here's our radius. If we were to take the length of the radius and wrap it along the circumference, it would create an angle measurement of 1 radian. When you have a circle and you have an angle of 1 radian, the arc that subtends it is exactly 1 radius long.
Okay, so you might be wondering, how many degrees is 1 radian equal to?
Well, that would be approximately 57.2958 degrees.
Why, you ask? Let us explain.
In a half circle, there are pi radians, which is also 180 degrees. That being said, pi radians equals 180 degrees. With this equation, we can now solve for the degree measurement of 1 radian. So first we divide both sides by pi. That leaves us with 1 radian equals 180 degrees over pi. After simplifying 180 degrees over pi, we calculate that 1 radian equals approximately 57.2958 degrees.
Okay, so now that we cleared that up, let's talk about how many radians are in a full circle.
The answer is
2 pi! Okay, so we already know that in a half circle, there are pi radians.
which is the same as 180 degrees.
So with that information, all you have to do is double it. Okay, so a half circle
Plus a half circle
is a full circle. Therefore, pi plus pi is 2 pi radians.
which is the same as 360 degrees. Although degrees are easier to use in everyday work, radians are much better for mathematics.
All right, let's kick this up a few notches.
Now, let's start off with degrees to radians. But first, let's establish our formula.
When converting degrees to radians, we must use the following formula. X degrees over 1 times pi radians over 180 degrees. Let's convert 150 degrees to radians. So first we must plug in our value to the equation. Next, we must always cancel the degrees. That would leave us with 150 over 1 times pi radians over 180. To make this easier for ourselves, let's just simplify beforehand. This leaves us with 5 over 1 times pi radians over 6. Now we can multiply, giving us an answer of 5 pi over 6 radians. Let's convert negative 45 degrees to radians. Once again, we must always begin by plugging in our value. Now we cancel the degrees. This would leave us with negative 45 over 1 times pi radians over 180. Let's do some simplifying. Finally, we must multiply, giving us a final answer of negative 1 pi over 4 radians. When converting radians to degrees, we must use the following formula. X radians over 1 times 180 degrees over pi radians. Let's convert pi radians to degrees. First, plug in your value to the equation. Next, we must cancel the radians. This would leave us with pi over 1 times 180 degrees over pi. After multiplying, we are left with pi 180 degrees over pi. The pi's cancel out, giving you an answer of 180 degrees. Now we are converting negative pi over 3 to degrees. Begin by plugging in your value. Next, you must always cancel the radians. This leaves us with negative pi over 3 times 180 degrees over pi. After we multiply, we are left with negative pi 180 degrees over 3 pi. Now we can cancel those pi's. Lastly, all you have to do is divide and you are left with negative 60 degrees.
Okay, now that we got that down, let's introduce the unit circle.
Dun dun dun!
The point of the unit circle is that it makes other parts of mathematics easier and neater. Here, as you can see, we have begun by labeling some of the angle measurements within the circle. Now we will show the conversion of degrees to radians. It certainly wouldn't be a bad idea to memorize these conversions and know them by heart. These last two conversions should be familiar to you. We had talked about them previously in this video.
Alright, thank you for watching, guys. We'd like to thank our family.
Our friends.
Oh, and we mustn't forget our wonderful, wonderful math teacher, Mrs. Hendry.
God bless.
God bless that woman.
Amen.
Oh, last but certainly not least, our Father.
Thank you, Jesus, that you would make math. Math is so important.
Well, there you have it, folks.
God bless. Love you.
Degrees.
That's not fine.
They would be no. Okay, now that we cleared that up,
Slow down.
shut up.
So, 360 degrees.
Okay, now that we cleared it, alright, thank you everybody, we're really
Good.